Hi, my name is Matt, and this is the Matt's Movie Reviews YouTube channel. Now, I wanted to make this quick intro video to just explain some of the content that I'm going to be making for those of you who are going to be watching. And I'm going to start off with just showing you some little designs I've made for the different content that I'm going to be making, and I'm just going to explain it really quickly. But to get into me a little bit, I studied acting, but I absolutely love movies. It's one of my favorite things to do is to watch a movie and talk about it. I know tons about film trivia. I literally just like aced one of those like online quizzes the other day. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm a huge movie nerd. You can see in the background, I got Back to the Future, Pulp Fiction, and Die Hard, which you can't see. But let me just go ahead and get right into the content that I'm going to have. Now, the first piece of content that I'm going to have is, well, Matt's movie reviews. Now, this is really for general movie reviews. So if there's something about a certain movie that I think I can really talk about, or if I have some interesting thoughts on it, or I want to bring some light to a movie that maybe doesn't get a lot of attention, or maybe I got really angry at this movie and I want to talk about it. That's really what those are for, just general movie reviews. Just any movies that I can watch, that I think I can have something to say about it. That's what those are going to be for. Next, there's also going to be Matt's TV thoughts. And yes, it's basically the same thing as the movie reviews, but on TV series or miniseries, whether on television or streaming. So if you've seen my Knuckles video, you know that's more or less going to be the focus. I will get into spoilers with those reviews as well, some of the time, just to talk about the pros and cons and what I think of the series overall. Obviously, watching a series does take a little bit more time, but it is also something that I like to do, especially if it ties into a film franchise of some kind that I'm in the middle of, catching up on, or just something in general where people say, hey, this is pretty good, or this is really not that great. I'll probably check it out. So that's what this is going to be for. Now, this next one is recent releases. Now, this one is exactly what you think it is. Anything that's new in theaters, or if it's new on streaming, I'm going to check it out. Obviously, I can't see every single thing that comes out, but if I do get the chance to go to the theater and see something or watch something new on streaming, that's what this is going to be for. So, those are going to be non spoiler reviews, just talking about my initial impressions of the movie and just saying if I think it's worth seeing or not. So that's what those videos are going to be for. And the first video I have for this is for Novocaine. So if you haven't checked that out yet, I hope you do. This is probably one of my favorites that I've been doing so far. I've only made a couple of them called People Hate This Movie, but I like it. So this is clearly a series about movies where just the masses just didn't get into this, or there's a vitriolic reaction to it. The critics are the same way, but I like the movie. Now, hate is a strong word. Now, it doesn't have to be like universally hated or like people think it's like a really terrible, god awful movie or literally everyone in the world hates it. It doesn't have to be like that. For me, it's more just a movie that has a lot of opinions that are very negative about it, but there's something about it that I enjoy, or there's something about it with me that it connects with me in some way. And I will talk about the good and bad of the movie, addressing what I think works and also what I think doesn't quite work. So that's the other one. And finally, the last one is the opposite of that, which is everyone loves this movie. I don't get it. Now that's clearly, you know what that is. It's people love this movie. The critics praise it left and right, and I just don't quite understand it. Again, this is opinion based. Uh, you know, Not everyone has to love this movie. Not everyone has to think it's the greatest thing ever. These are just movies that seem to be universally across the board really revered, really well liked by the masses, and the critics give it really positive reviews. But maybe there's just something to it that I just don't quite understand, or maybe I just didn't quite get into the hype of it as much as other people. Now, it doesn't mean I hate these movies. Sometimes I might just have a little bit of an angry reaction to them, but for the most part, it's not really going to be that. It's more going to be me just saying, sharing my thoughts about why I don't think it's as S tier or A tier as people have been saying it is, and all that kind of stuff. So that's the last one. Now, the last thing I do want to make clear, which I tried to talk about a little bit, is these are opinion based videos. And I don't want you guys to take my opinion and, just get a. I hope people don't get upset. I'm just trying to make fun content and talk about movies in an interesting way, like a lot of people on YouTube do. Um, you know, this is something that I love. This is something that I'm really passionate about. And, everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to go on a full frontal attack. I'm not going to do any sort of negative trolling to anybody. I just want to talk about movies in a fun way. And hopefully, you guys can talk about them with me too, because I'm also planning on trying to do some live streams and maybe a podcast. So, obviously, in the coming months, I'm going to see what I can figure out how much I can do. So, I hope you appreciate this intro video. I hope this content sounds interesting to you. I'm going to make videos when I can. And yeah, hopefully, I will see you guys in the comment section. Have a good one.